this is the Old George pub in Sykehouse. We're here for the first round of the New Fish Southfield Spring League.
Jeff asking. I can't see any big dippers in front of him really, so it's looking good. Get Steve Walker out ready goes before he draws. Go again before he draws. 65, it's still in here.
You can take it with you if you want and put it in on bands.
There's only one in the woods.
It's got to be woods, hasn't it? It's got to be. No. 56. 56.
Jamie Harrison, put your name on board, Jamie.
Lads.
56. Jamie Harrison.
Peg 56, it's just past the gate. I'm not sure what the gate is, probably about peg 52, 54, something like that. Just, you know, I'll fancy that for 1 or 2 bites there. There are only 3 or 4 pegs left in the bag anyway. One of them's in the woods, which is where all the weights have been coming on, which is pegs 1 to 10. But I'm on 56, so it might be a little bit awkward getting parked up down there because I'm one of the last ones down there, so it can be a little bit busy down that lane. So I'm going to go and get parked up, and I'll see you down at the peg. Context for you, we did have to de-ice the windscreen this morning. When I got in the van it was just 3 degrees, so you know, the temperatures have dropped overnight. There were a few lads that have had some frost where they've come from. Bright blue skies, as you can probably see, but on arriving at the venue now, just coming down the lane to the venue, as you can see there is a ripple on the canal, so there is some wind blowing, which is very welcome. It's going to be a 2-line approach. I'm pretty sure I know what kind of ranges I'm going to be fishing. But like I said, just 2-rod approach and just rotate lines, be nice and patient. There were some blanks up here on the last match, so we know it's fishing hard, and it could very well be the kind of match where you've really got to go right until the last minute. Some of the lads didn't catch until the last half hour, and then they've had a couple of pulls in the last 30 minutes or so. So it could be one of those matches, so might need to be really patient. We're fishing 10:30 till 4, and I think I might be on the last platform on this bank, the last before the natural bank starts, I think. So yeah, if I've got to walk up there, I'll probably load the bar up because you can't quite drive all the way up. But yeah, nice, simple, patient approach, I think. Than it was, 56. Well, I've got 4 rods actually set up. I've got 2 12 footers, 3.6 metres. I've also got one that's the XS Slim, but the larger one, which is 3.5, I think it is. I was going to use that on a shorter line at about 35 metres, but while I'm tattling up, that wind's getting stronger. I have got a 13-foot rod set up, an XD, so I think I'm going to have to put that up. I've just had a quick look on my phone at the forecast and it says it is going to increase. So I've got to put that big rod up just in case, just to make sure I can still reach that longer line. Loading the van up in my t-shirt this morning. Look at it now. Still 40 minutes to the off. I'll quickly talk you through my kit before I sort my bait out. Like I said, this wind's made a difference now, so I've now got a 13-foot XD set up as well, which I was hoping I wouldn't need, but I am going to need. I'm sure I'm going to need it by the time the match starts. And they've also forecast this wind getting worse later on in the day as well, so I think it can only help the fishing, but it's a really cold wind. It's really cold, and the kit I've got set up, I've got 13-foot XD. I know a lot of people are going to ask, so that's the 13-foot. I've got a 12-foot set up as well, and then I've got a 3.5 metre XS slim set up as well. I'm going to be fishing two lines. I'm going to fish 35 metres and 50 metres. Obviously, with that being 50 metres, I can obviously go quite, past that a long way as well if I need to. But they're the two lines that I'm going to stick on, just really because 50 metres I know I'm going to be able to hit all day, even if it means I'm going to switch to the big rod. But it means if this wind does continue like it is doing, I'm still going to be able to hit that 50 metre mark. That is it. I'm going to fish for a bite to start with, simple as that. I'm going to feed the shorter line first and leave that at least an hour, and then it'll just be a case of rotating through lines. Those two lines are just having a look out what's happening. There's quite a few pegs down to my right, but yeah, you can probably tell how I'm wrapped up now. It's gone cool now, so it's about 10 minutes before the off now. The wind is still coming, as you can see. Quickly talk you through the setup, because I know people ask. Like I say, I've got two lines clipped up. I've got 3 rods to cover those 2 lines, just in the nice simple roost, keeps everything off the rocks. River keep net 4 metre. On days like this is when this is important, because of these nice big holes. There are loads of river nets out there, but this one's brilliant, really robust. You really need it on venues like this, It's amazing how many keep nets I've seen damaged. I'm going to have the rod down. I'm not going to have it on my across my knee today. I'm going to be putting the rod down and waiting for bites, just making sure they're on before I pick up, if I'm going to get any. The bait tray, nice and simple setup. This is going to be the same sort of setup for this every match in this series. Just got some extra rocks and water in that one. I like water on my bait tray anyway, just so I can add it to my ground bait, or if I need to wash my hands for anything, I've got water there. But I'll put a couple of rocks in there just in case this wind gets to gale force strength, then it's not going to risk blowing anything off my side tray. Obviously my ground bait there, I've got some dead reds. I'm going to put them in, cover them with water in a minute, just to stop them going black, keep them nice and soft. I'm I've got some fluoro live big maggots as well for the hook. I can also feed them as well, obviously. They're just some spare dead reds that I've got in case I run out of those. Worms obviously speak for themselves, just dendras. These are pole cups here for cutting the worms up, obviously. And that's it, really simple. Got some hook lengths there that I haven't put on yet, and obviously I've got some spares if I need them. And then at the back here, just a selection of different feeders. I'm going to be using the Horizon feeders, either the old version or the new version. I'll just find out which is best. Like I said, I'm going to feed that 35 metre line first and then start at 50 metres.
Fire.
Well, that was a great start. Just had one about £2. First cast, it had been in 16 minutes. I've just gone to cast back out to that 50 metre line, and there's quite a bit of debris in the edge, and some of it got caught in my braid, and it just broke my tip on the cast. So I'm going to have to set this rod back up again because I can't reach it with the 12 foot. So I'm just going to have to set this rod back up, clip it back up again. Well, what I'm going to do is, while I'm sorting the terminal kit out, I'm going to cast a short line out, just so that at least I'm fishing while I'm sat on my box setting up the other rig. Not good. Just a nice simple helicopter rig, helping to keep it tangle free and nice and strong for punching it into that wind. When you're sat 15 minutes waiting for a bite, you don't want to be sat there wondering if your rig's tangled up or not. Took me a few minutes to set all that up again and put another tip in, but at least I know it's done right now. Set back up again now. I haven't seen any more fish caught. I haven't seen anyone else catch anything yet. So I've just had a bit of downtime setting that back up again, but I haven't seen anyone else catch yet. That must be the smallest fish in here. Usually you only see fish like that in here, you know, around July, August, summertime when they catch them on the pole, but very, very welcome. Still haven't seen anyone else catch anything yet. The wind's getting worse. But I've just got to keep on doing what I'm doing. It seems to be, at least it's getting a response anyway. We're just over an hour in. I haven't seen any other fish caught yet. certainly not in my section anyway. I can't see all the way down, but I haven't seen any more fish caught. These waves are getting bigger now. I'm just got to raise the tip up a little bit so my tip's not going through those waves. When I changed the tip, I changed from 2.5 ounce tip. That was the one that broke. I actually stepped it up when I got the opportunity to change it. I changed it to a 4 ounce tip, and that seems to be absolutely perfect. It might sound severe, and I thought it might have been a bit too much, but it's absolutely perfect. This place is only shallow, and obviously with this wind on, you know, the tow can be, well, it can be massive sometimes. I've seen it move feeders across the bottom. The tow has been so strong on some occasions, but at the moment that is absolutely perfect. Well, we're just coming up to the 2 hour mark, and I've just had a third fish. Not a big fish, but very, very welcome. That had been in just under 15 minutes as well. So we're having to wait for bites, as you can imagine, just like you do when it's hard and cold on here. I haven't seen another fish caught anywhere. I haven't been watching all the time, but I have been keeping my eyes open, and I just haven't seen another fish caught. So I was just about to drop onto my 35 metre line. Then obviously I just got that fish then, so I think I'll be daft to do that right now. I've got to stay out there on this line, on this 50 metre line. It seems to be the only thing that's working, you know. Like I say, I haven't even heard anyone say that they've even had a bite, so I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. 15-minute casts, and if I go 3 or 4 casts without a sign, then I might have a drop on that shorter line, but still a long way to go yet. Through now. I've got 4 fish now. 3 of them are quite small by Southfield standards, but I've got 4 fish, and I've got to be thankful for that, to be honest, the way it's finishing. I've only seen one other fish caught, and that was just now. The lad on my right, he's just had one about 6 ounce. Looked about 6 ounce, not a big fish, and that's it. I've not seen any other fish caught. Dad's gone back in the van now. He's retired to the van where it's nice and warm. That wind's just really cold now. You can probably tell by the way I'm wrapped up. It's freezing. So that's it. I haven't seen any other fish caught, so I'm still on that 50 metre line, and I think I've got to stay out there at least for the next couple of casts. If I don't get anything in the next couple of casts, or any indications or anything, then I'm going to have a look on that 35 metre line just to see if there's anything there. But at the moment it's still very, very quiet. Well, my biggest concern has really been about the size of the fish that I've caught. I've caught 4 fish, which is way more than anyone else, but the stamp is small. I mean, the first fish was about £2. I reckon all 4 fish might only go about £3, maybe just over altogether. My only concern's been, with that being such a low kind of weight, that could easily be cancelled out by 1 fish. That's just happened. The lad on my left, he's just had one, and it's over £3. It might even be £4. I think that might cancel out all 4 of my fish. So annoying when that happens, but I don't know why my fish have been smaller. I don't know, maybe that'll change. Maybe it's just because there aren't any bigger fish there. I've no idea, but there's still 2 hours to go yet. But I think that one fish will cancel my 4 out. I've just had a quick look at 35 metres, not a sign. Never had an indication, so I've just gone back out long to 50 metres. This is my first cast back out there. It's been in 7 minutes. I think that's going to be the line to be on. But I really could do with a couple of fish now. Well, there are 90 minutes left. Up until 5 minutes ago I got myself down a second in section because the lad on my left, that fish he's got, that single fish, is heavier than all of my first 4. But I've just hooked a fish on 9 minutes at 50 metres, and I bet it's £3. Must be £3, maybe just a tiny bit under, maybe. So that should put me in front in this section. I've seen a couple of fish caught about 10 pegs down to my left, just one caught to my right, a few pegs. Other than that, it's still pretty slow, but on recent form, from what I've seen in reports and stuff, is the last hour has been the best, so that is yet to come. I'm still at 50 metres, not had a sign at 35. I'm sticking out there on that line now. It just seemed to be the right line to be on. Well, it's 25 minutes to go and I've just had a 6th fish. It's about £2 to been in 11 minutes. Lad on my right got one just before I did. So about 25 minutes left. I've got 6 fish for about £8. Lad on my left has still got 1 fish, and the lad on his left, which is the first peg in this section, he's got 1 fish as well, but it's a good fish, £3. 25 minutes to go. Done. I've ended up with 8 fish for about £13, I reckon. Might be £14. Lad on my left got one last chuck as well, so he's probably got £6 with 2 fish. I'm hoping it's enough for a section win. That's the only thing I care about, to be fair. I think the woods will have fished well over in pegs 1 to 10. You know, they've been producing, so I couldn't expect to frame with what I've got anyway. It's not enough anyway, but it's just a section win. That's the only thing I'm bothered about, winning that section. So fingers crossed. We'll get some kit packed away and wait for the scales.